It's Wednesday, friends, and we're continuing to talk about the Arrow box sets of the Dollars Trilogy, and we're on for a few dollars more.
Previously on the Nerdy Ronin Network.
I got this from our good friend Harrison. Yeah, Harrison at Static Tape Video. The Lakes Mall, Michigan, Muskegon, Michigan, I think it is. I think that's how you say it. I don't know. But Harrison. Happy hump day, friends. I gotta be honest. It's so strange right now, right? Like, there's so much going on, and I feel like I'm being bombarded just from every direction with all these different emotions. And all I want to do is talk about good entertainment, and that's what we're going to do today. So, no moping on this channel. I'm not going to be the victim today, friends. Sometimes it's tough to sit down and hit record. That's just the truth. I know you see me smile, you see me be happy, but sometimes it can be rough. Sometimes the motivation is hard to get to because of everything else, right? I don't even know if I'm going to keep that on there, but it's just how I feel. But today we are talking about the second movie of the Dollars Trilogy for a few dollars more. And we're going to take a look at everything in this box in just a minute. First, let's take a look at the movie. For a few dollars more, 1965, rated R, 2 hours and 12 minutes. This one was much, much longer than the first one. And that's okay. It's a more complex and complicated story, but still, it's a lot longer. Two bounty killers with similar intentions but different motivations team up to take down a psychotic Mexican outlaw before he and his gang can carry out an audacious bank robbery. Yeah, not really. No, but I mean, kind of. Directed, of course, by Sergio Leone. Written by Sergio Leone. Fulvio Morcella. Luciano Vincenzoni. I don't know. Not Italian, but this is an original story. It's not based on anything else. Starring Clint Eastwood, Lee Van Cleef, and Gian Maria Volante. I don't know. Don't remember exactly how to say it. Let's talk about it. So here's the thing, friends. A fistful of dollars for a time period was just a very unique and interesting thing. And because of the court battle they had with Akira Kurosawa, because he felt they had just stolen Yojimbo, basically, that movie did not come out in America for a while. And once it did, this was done. And so it came, like, basically in 1 year's time, all three of these movies came out in America. So this, for a few dollars more, ton of stuff. I've got to be honest. Hey, I watched it twice so I could watch or listen to one of the one of the commentaries, because one of them made me angry. Great artwork on the hard shell box there. And you have a double-sided poster. There's one side, and there's the other. Beautiful. I mean, this is not cheap paper. It's pretty like hefty feeling, right? It's nice. Then another book, of course, with all sorts of information, pictures, etc. Some really nice artwork. Really like it. And of course, you've got the double-sided outer cover. You got the 4K and the Blu-ray. Now, With this one, I mean, these are all basically this setup: a poster, a book, the movie, and special features in the hardshell box with a slipcover, right? With the first one, I did not listen to the commentaries. And with this one, I did. And one of them irritated me. But I wanted to cover one thing about what I found interesting in a archived special feature from 2005. What's the gentleman's name? And I want to make sure I give you the right one. Sir Christopher Frayling. He is a film historian and Sergio Leone's biographer. Now, he has a huge collection, and he's got quite a few special features on here, which is why I did not listen to the commentary of the first one, because I felt like I had heard enough of him, right? Not that he did anything wrong, just I had watched several special features with him in it. But they also have a commentary with film historian and critic Tim Lucas. Tim Lucas, you're an awful person. I just want to double check something. Oh yeah, from our friends over at Blackout Coffee Company, make sure you head over and give them a try. Links in the description. Tim Lucas does a commentary on all these. And he tries to sound so hoity-toity. It's A, distracting, and B, he's not actually watching the film. There's a scene in this movie. I literally stopped. It's at the beginning. I stopped listening to his commentary. The Tim Lucas or whatever. There's a scene where Clint Eastwood has a guy, one of his bounties, up against a bar with his back to the door when three guys come in with their guns drawn. And like all Western bars, behind the bar is this full-length mirror. It's in the shot, the mirror. But when you see the men walk in, the camera's looking over Clint Eastwood's shoulder. So theoretically, the camera would be the mirror, right? So Clint Eastwood looks up when he hears them come in, not at the camera, but up, like he's looking at the mirror. And then the camera turns around and shows him and the guy and the mirror. And this critic and critic and whatnot, I don't know what he is, like film critic, is like, he's looking up into camera, almost like he can see them behind him. What? Yeah. He can see them. There's a mirror. It's just nonsense. This guy was so like smelling his own toots. Okay, so holier than thou, and doesn't really. He's not really watching what's on the screen. And there was a couple of times this happened. So at that point, I shut that off. But I did listen to the commentary, Leone's biographer, and it was great because there's a special feature from 2005. Get back on point here, buddy, where he's talking about, even in 2005, this is a buddy movie, like a father figure and his son figure, and they're friendly, and they kind of pick at each other, but they're friendly, like a good buddy, like kind of like a buddy cop movie, like theoretically, like loosely. And he was saying how this was not, the intention of this was not for them to be gay. Because even back in 2005, people were trying to say that the underlying message was these two gay men, Lee Van Cleef and Clint Eastwood, and they just wanted to be together. And that's not at all what it is. It's two men in a friendship. I don't know. So that was in 2005-ish, right? And so no telling what people think now. Because every time you've got a movie with two men in it, it tries to get stolen like it's some sort of whatever. I don't know. But I found that really interesting, and it made me sit up and actually pay attention to his commentary, and so I gave it a listen, and it was great. So now I'm going to have to go back and watch the first one and watch his commentary. Definitely not Tim Lucas's. He shouldn't be on these. Oh, my goodness. Oh, can't stand it. But let's get into it. Hey, this is about two bounty hunters. One of them is all about the money, and one of them is out for revenge. That's the point of the movie. They're two different men who end up working together and end up having a friendship. Now, I do have to warn you, there's some, brief glimpses of some chesticles, but not full-on chesticles, like cloth isn't, that's the only way I can describe it. You may see a bit of nippling, but not for just the briefest of seconds, right? And it's covered. So be forewarned, no language. There is one scene of assault on a lady by the bad guy. This is dealing with some complex issues, and it's a bit complicated. Not only was the budget for this tripled based on the first one, the story is more complex. It's deeper. Because until the very end of the movie, you don't even understand the flashbacks and what's going on with the revenge arc, right? You understand the money one, I want to take this guy in and get the money, right? And it looks stunning. Again, the music by Marconi is wonderful. It's a living character in the movie. But it can get a little overbearing. Just as long as this movie was, as it continued on, I was kind of like, all right, let's get to the end. It was a bit long for me. 2 hours and 12 minutes. I think they could have cut that down a little bit, but I'm not going to complain. I'm not really complaining. I loved every minute of it. It was a fun movie. And the restoration looked wonderful. It sounds wonderful. Even on my crappy audio system, you could hear the dialogue, the music, the sound effects. It all came together like a choir to make the perfect sound. It was wonderful. I got this from Orbit DVD because there was some problems with Arrow shipping quickly like they should have, which we talked about earlier this week. So Harrison was having some trouble getting his order, which wasn't on him. He had made the order, but he wasn't getting any updates because Arrow can sometimes suck. But so he said, hey, check Orbit DVD. I did. They had a copy in stock. I bought it. Okay. The other two I did get from Harrison, and I wish I could have got all three from Harrison. That was the plan. But it is what it is. We love Harrison. Harrison gets us some great stuff. This was just one of those things where there was a problem with Arrow overselling. But anyway, that's it. Nope, it's done. It's time to start the rest of my day. I know this has been a little convoluted, a little longer than normal, but the fact of the matter is, even if you just buy the disc itself, just the 4K, this looks stunning. Which you can, to the best of my knowledge, you can get these, all three of these, just the disc. It'll be cheaper, right? All right. For Michael, the microphone, Bob, squeaky chair in the back, and this big fat nerd, we'll be back on Friday to talk about the good, the bad, and the ugly. I can't wait. Y'all have a good night.